Welcome to the Coal Creek Dredge and Yukon-Charley Rivers National Preserve. I'd like to take the next few moments to give you a brief tour of the dredge. Gold Plasters Incorporated acquired the claims along Coal Creek in 1934 to 1935. In the spring of 1935, they sent out a bid to purchase a dredge from the W. Johnson Company in San Francisco. In the fall of that year, the dredge arrived in crates via steamship. In 1936, in the spring, the dredge was assembled at Cheese Creek and ran on and off for the next 20 years. In 17 years of operation, the dredge mined 3.2 tons of gold out of the Coal Creek drainage. Dredging is a form of industrial gold mining in placer gold deposits. Placer gold is gold that has eroded away from the bedrock, and what's left are nuggets, pickers, and flakes. This dredge and all dredges have four simple operations. The first is digging the material. The second is classifying the material. Thirdly, it saves the gold. And lastly, it disposes of waste material. The Coal Creek Dredge has 62 buckets in its digging chain. Each bucket is 4 cubic feet in size, and the digging chain digs down 14 feet to bedrock. In a 24-hour period, this dredge could process what the equivalent of 2,500 miners could do in one day. The Coal Creek Dredge is a floating steel pontoon dredge. There are 2 points that touch the ground. The spud is 17 tons, 40 foot long, and tipped like a bottlenose dolphin. As the dredge is digging, the bucket chain is touching the front, digging the material, and the dredge is pivoting on the spud. The spud enables the dredge to work back and forth across the face, sending the gold-bearing gravels into the trommel. The winch room is the control center for the entire dredge. From here, the winchman, or dredge operator, is able to perform all the mechanical functions of the dredge. This lever engages or disengages the bucket line, while this lever engages or disengages the winches. The levers below me control the individual winches located downstairs. This is one of 2 Atlas diesel engines that provided power for the Coal Creek Dredge. This provided power to the bucket chain and the winches. The second engine provided power for the electrical generator and for the pumps that pumped water to wash the gravels. The second function of a dredge is to classify the material. We're standing here in front of a trommel, similar to a washing screen in your front-end loading washer. At the end of the trommel, we have the buckets, which dump the dirt into the trommel. It's rotating like your washer does with perforations. The gold-bearing gravels fall through, while the larger coarse gravels come out the back side and out the stacker into the tailings piles. Above, we have high-pressure jets that force the gravel and gold down through the perforations. The third function of a dredge is to save gold. The Coal Creek Dredge recovered approximately 90% of the gold in the alluvial gravels it mined. Behind me is the trommel or screen, which directly below that is the upper screen sluice. This part of the sluice recovered 70% of the gold, while the sluices below me recovered around 20%. In each sluice are riffles. The riffles, the water flows over, the gold drops down, and the gravel washes out. First, riffles like this, wooden with rubber mats, were used. However, later on, the company switched over to steel riffles. The final operation of any dredge is disposal of waste material. After the gravels have been classified and the gold has been sorted out, the waste material heads out the back of the stacker and into the tailings piles. At the Coal Creek drainage, we have 413 acres of tailings following 7 miles of Coal Creek. Thank you for coming on a brief tour of the Coal Creek Dredge. Experience your America by joining us in person for a full tour of the mining history at Coal Creek, Alaska and Yukon-Charley Rivers National Preserve.